Hi everyone. I want to spend a minute talking about what happens if you need a mobility device urgently and you've not been able to plan ahead for it. So, very practical example, if you're in a motor vehicle accident that's life-changing and you're either trying to help yourself or you're helping someone you care about, what could you do to bridge the gap initially? So what I see is several options that aren't going to require a lot of money up front to at least get started. Sort of in this type of scenario, I sort of see a dichotomy between sort of stabilizing life and then what you're going to do for the long term. So the initial steps that I would take would first be themed around contacting the retirement residences and the nursing homes in the area where you live to see if any of the residences recently died and had a walker or wheelchair that the family has said to the facility to find a new user for it. The next step I would take would be to contact the secondhand thrift stores and ask if they have any for sale. So this would be again a family donating the device to to the community essentially and trying to find a new user for it. The third step I would take would be in identifying the mobility stores that exist where a device has been given back to them when it's no longer needed, or newer equipment has been obtained and there might still be some use left in what was purchased originally, and see if you could use it for a bit to stabilize your life. So in the mobility world, there's sort of like car dealerships, but it's home health care. And if you're not really part of that world, you wouldn't know that they exist. But if you think about it, there is the need. So how you would find out where these are, you could contact a family doctor's office to ask what's available in the general area where you live. You could contact the patient relations department of a hospital to make the same inquiry. Or, as I previously said, a nursing home or a retirement residence would obviously know what mobility stores are around. And, when I first started out needing a power wheelchair, I was given a few different models to test drive for a week, kind of like you get a loaner car if you've had an automobile accident and you just sort of drive it and you're using it and you kind of get a feel for it. So it is common enough that old devices or devices that are no longer needed are donated. Beyond this, it would equally be worth asking if there's any community-based organizations that have these devices that maintain them, and they do it for the good of the community, and you end up making a donation for the use thereof when you're returning it. And sort of my other thought process would be along the lines of either a social worker or an occupational therapist. They would also know devices and where they could be sourced and how you could source them and provide you with some guidance. There is also the free cycle. That's a website, and it's where you're looking to rehome something that still has useful life in it. And it wouldn't be unreasonable to say that if someone has a manual wheelchair or a walker that's not being used, sort of someone's passed away, and it's just sort of set there in the corner, not knowing what to do with it, could you help me? That would be another approach to take, and the equivalent, Facebook or social media groups, but you'd want to be, probably within a 45-minute driving range from where you live, unless you're really in the sticks, and then wherever your major community hub is located, that would be where you would target such an inquiry. And now, just before I close this video off, if you have met with a life-changing motor vehicle accident or some other type of freak accident, or someone that you know is going through this, and that's why you've tripped across my video, I just wanted to share just a little bit more. I want to remind you that the person going through this is still a person. So they still have the same needs for expressing emotion, needing affection, needing stimulation. Like, for me, I really enjoy going down to the Bay of Quinte. It's just about 5 minutes from where I live, and getting out of the house. So you might not be able to fix what's wrong with someone in terms of a life-changing accident. There still is this whole section over here that the healthcare community doesn't exactly address, and that's about them as a whole person and quality of life issues and affection, support, being willing to listen, care, concern. So there's still things that you can do. So I would not want you to feel like you're handicapped from someone that you've known. I know that life keeps going on, and you can't hit a pause button for everything to stay the same just to adjust to it. So we sort of need to keep adjusting depending on what's happening in the people's lives that we know and that we care about a whole lot. And so if one of my friends had this happen to them, I would be making a sort of an open-ended offer that is themed around what can I do for you, or will you let me know when things are bothering you, or would you let me know if you want to go out for a glass of hot chocolate, for example. And whatever it is that would help make a difference in their quality of life. In 2007, I underwent hip reconstructive surgery. It was sort of the next step in my medical treatment. And that was in September, and we got to where the leaves were changing colors. I really wanted to go see the leaves. I wasn't physically recovered, but I wanted to see the leaves, and they took me out for a 30-minute car ride. It was fantastic. I've had people come and bring their pet, like a really well-behaved dog, to see me. Or, I had 2 dogs visit me while I was in the hospital as part of a community program that offers this to the patients. Best 15 minutes I ever spent in the hospital. It was fantastic. What I'm saying to you is that there's more than than the narrow scope of their life, and trying to help them still be a whole person and take care of their complete well-being. Then the very last thing I'm going to say in this video, don't try to know everything, and don't try to pretend that you know everything when helping someone who's met with a life-changing accident. At least for me, I'm looking for someone to still be who they are, and not necessarily for the mobility challenges I have to be sort of an elephant in a room, but instead to be available, to still casually talk with, because you don't always want to be talking about an injury. There still is life, or, for example, how much I enjoy taking care of Rocky, my hamster. And that whole theme of wanting to help a person with their life make the most of whatever it is now, and that can be done in a number of ways. And the key, though, is being open and good dialogue and good communication skills. Okay, hope this has been helpful to the people that will need it. Thanks for the time you spent watching my video today. Bye for now.